This video will help you prepare for your upcoming interview with USCIS. The final step in obtaining your visa or green card is to attend an interview with a USCIS official. The interview also allows the government to ask questions that will test whether your marriage is real or a sham. Every hopeful immigrant can count on being required to attend an interview, and your spouse will have to attend the interview with you. The key to a smooth interview is preparation. If you haven't already done so, review all the appropriate forms and documents we submitted on your behalf. To prepare for the oral part of the interview, your homework task is to review your paperwork. Though they seem to contain only boring, dry bits of information, this information is loaded with meaning to a USCIS official. The dates of your visits to different places, the financial figures, and your immigration history can all add up to a revealing picture in the official's eyes. The officer will ask you about these details to test whether you are establishing a life together, not just committing fraud to obtain a green card. The interviewing officer's decision rests almost entirely on whether he or she believes that you're telling the truth. You'll come across as more sincere if you're dressed neatly, professionally, and even conservatively. You'll need to bring several documents to your interview to prove your identity, the validity of your marriage, and more. Your lawyer will give you a list of the required documents at or before your mock interview. About 5 months after you submit your adjustment of the status packet to USCIS, USCIS will schedule your interview at one of its local offices, hopefully near where you live. The interview can take as little as 30 minutes. USCIS doesn't provide interpreters at interviews in the United States. If you're not comfortable in English, you must bring a friend or hire an interpreter to help. Although hundreds of very different couples are interviewed each day across the United States, these interviews follow a pattern. Here's what will probably happen at your adjustment interview, step by step. After sitting in the waiting room with dozens of other couples, you'll be summoned to the inner rooms of the USCIS Adjustments Unit. You'll be brought to the USCIS officer's desk, where your identification will be confirmed. Just when you're seated comfortably, you, your spouse, and your interpreter, if you've brought one, must stand up again, raise your right hands, and take oaths to tell the truth. The officer will ask to see all your passports and travel documents. The officer will also want to see documents from your spouse, such as a driver's license, social security card, and proof of legal U.S. immigration status. The officer will start by going through your written application, asking you about the facts and examining the medical and fingerprint reports for factors that might make you ineligible for a green card. This is one of the most important parts of the interview. You'll sign the application to confirm its correctness. The officer will ask you and your spouse about your married life. At this stage, the questions will be polite ones, such as where you met, when and why you got married, how many people attended your wedding, or what you did on your most recent birthday or night out. If there's a problem in your application, you can correct by submitting additional materials. The officer will usually put your case on hold and send you home with a list of additional documents to provide by mail within a specified time. If the officer suspects that your marriage is fraudulent, however, a whole new step will be added to the process. You will meet the fraud unit. There, an officer will interview you and your spouse separately and intensively. The officer will compare the results of your 2 interviews. At the end of the interview, if you are approved, you will be given a letter stating that your case is recommended for approved. The letter is just for your records and cannot be used like a green card to travel in and out of the United States. Several weeks later, however, your actual green card will arrive by mail. If you are in this situation or would like more information, call our office. It will be a pleasure to provide you with our services.